Welcome to Earth 2 Comcast. We are about to jump into episode 2, season 1 of Moon Knight, Summon the Suit. Along to do the show with me again is Roy. Thank you for coming back, Roy.
Happy to be here.
Great. So episode 2 of Moon Knight, Summon the Suit. Initial thoughts.
Positive. I really liked it. I thought it was anchored by like 3 really strong performances this time. I think like all of the 3 featured characters were all like really strong. I thought that Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke and then the woman who plays Lila were all really good. Like I felt very optimistic. I really do not understand why we did not get the first 2 episodes together. like I would have had much more positive feelings, I think, at the end. Like when we were doing the show last week, I think overall we were pretty positive, but I think I would have been like, okay, like let's go.
Sold. Right.
I'm sold because I think the concept pays off, and I think it does a better, more holistic way of sort of like examining the Moon Knight character than the pilot does.
Right. I'm very much with you. I wish we got both episodes together. I think both episodes are stronger together than separately, though. But I will say the performances of, so while you're here for all 3 performances, right? I think Ethan is my guy in this one. I was sold. I was not expecting what I got from him, and I was sold. He had this command as a villain. He had this great command, and also a cult leader. I don't want to say he looks the part, but
he did.
He does.
I mean, to be fair, he is an actor trying to play a role. So
right. So to be fair, but no, he knocked it out the park, and I think he's the one that really sold me on this episode this week. I think I'm getting the idea that the show is gonna hang a lot on the performances of the actors. And I feel that because Oscar Isaac, again, he did do a great job as Steven and Mark, more so Steven, but like he did a fantastic job. And I think he did a really good job as Mark when we're spoiling anyways, when he gets to that point.
The end.
Yeah, the end when Mark is the main host. I really think he knocked it out. And it could be because his British accent upsets me. So
really, it is quite bad. It is quite bad.
Yeah, so I think it's because his British accent upsets me. So seeing him play, himself or an American, that sat with me, and I was like, okay, this is good. He's great here. Also, I think the story works. Again, I think the story would have worked better if we got both episodes together. But the story works. The story works. I'm sitting here. I was watching the episode. I kind of just finished watching the episode I told you earlier. I'm sitting here like, dang, I wish we got, just like you, I wish we got both together, because I don't necessarily know if I was super bored last week, but like I wasn't like, I was more into this episode. I was way more into this episode. And again, this is a stronger episode on its own, but would have worked. Chef's Kiss would have worked great if we got both.
And I think that the finale of the episode serves as a good like bookend to like if they do it where like, and this is kind of what Marvel's been doing in general, is like first 2 episodes is kind of like one arc, middle 2 episodes are kind of one arc with a twist at the end, kind of, and then the 5th and 6th episode of the sort of wrapping things up about it. I think that where they, I mean, it was full spoilers, right? I guess.
Right. 100%.
Like that he's in Egypt at the end. I mean, which is super predictable, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's not even really a spoiler. Moon Knight goes to Egypt. Wow. Okay. Like,
right.
Oh man, the sun comes up tomorrow. Okay. But I think it was just like a really powerful bookend, particularly with like how Egypt-y it started within the museum. The first episode, and then them actually being in Egypt at the end. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So the end of the episode, again, as to your point, kind of just ties in it really does tie in actually with what you were saying. This is one arc. So Egypt, the Egypt arc, we're gonna get full Egypt in, probably the next two episodes, and then the last two will be the tie-in, the final, the bow episodes. But um, now I believe last week we were kind of speculating on where they would go with this. Do you think we hit anything?
Well, we were wrong. At least I know I was wrong. I said this also in something I did yesterday, where that they would show the second half of the Moon Knight fight, which they
Right.
didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Which is kind of weird.
It was
You know,
weird,
they
but
did show a Moon Knight fight, but it wasn't it wasn't, as you said, we're gonna pick up right, this is the fight and we're gonna pick right up. But I kind of like that they did that. Hear me out.
I think no,
Go
you
ahead.
go ahead. No,
Okay.
you go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, so I'm saying I kind of like that they did that because again, Mark has to deal with everything like that Moon Knight does. I'm sorry, Steven has to deal with everything that Mark does and Khonshu does, right? So if we just got the fight, and I like that we got some sort of resolution with Steven. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay with not having the fight, like pick up, because as we saw in this episode, he doesn't let out more than one.
He let out two, right? There were two. Wasn't
No, it was just the one.
Oh, was it just the one the last time?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was two.
Yeah, it was just the one last time, and then it was just the one again this time. So he doesn't let out more than one. So it would have been like, well, what it looks like, because he did say this is just a sliver of Amit's power.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like that idea of just that whole thing. The story. Okay, but no, you were gonna say something before I cut you off.
No. I think I was just gonna. I don't even quite remember what I was gonna say. But I think we got. I think the general direction that the show is gonna go. I think pretty well.
Yes,
Like,
we did.
I mean, and I don't necessarily mean that as an insult. Like, I think it's hitting the right notes. And yeah, I mean, it's nothing been like blown me away, but it's like, yeah, this is really, really good.
Yeah, because there is the there is the thing that we I think Kyle did ask the question, what if they go multiple personalities? And I like that within the body of Steven, or within that character, we've gotten the one. And then would you call Khonshu a
yeah, he's a kind of a person. He's kind of not. Well, like I think it's confirmed, right? I mean, I guess the Khonshu is real.
Yes.
So, unless all of this is just all in Mark's head, but
that'd be a crazy twist.
But Khonshu is real, right? So he's not a personality in the way of which, like, or alters, right? Alters is the term, I guess, is technically for DID. And so I don't think so. But I mean, Khonshu also a little bit stole the show.
Yeah, he did.
This episode.
He did.
He's just such a dick.
Right. And he did so much that I had to look up. I'm like, yo, who is playing Khonshu?
It's the guy who he's in currently in Mystic Quest.
Yes.
He plays the like writer.
Yeah.
It's a creep.
Scanlan's hand. Scanlan, that's my guy. But yeah, wait. You said the writer?
Yeah, he in Mythic Quest, like they have the guy.
Yeah.
Who plays the writer?
I was thinking of the Amazon show. I'm sorry.
No. This is the Apple TV show.
Apple TV, yes.
Yeah, the one that's by the people who do Always Sunny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I enjoyed Khonshu. As a matter of fact, I think that's where I want to talk about next. Is the one character that dropped in the show that just kind of like had me like, whoa, was Khonshu. I was like, okay, and I wasn't sure if last week we talked about it, but he was the voice, right? Oh, the stupid one is up. Yep. Where I don't know if I told you guys, but at first I was like, okay, that must be an alteration of Mark's voice, like the in between, like the sleepy voice and the wake up voice, and that's probably an alteration of it. I wasn't expecting that voice to actually be a character or be a person, and then when Khonshu was like are you going to give that back, or you should get? I was like, whoa, let's get. No, the the warehouse, the storage facility scene. I mean,
That was cool.
yes, it was. It was.
It-
And again, that's where Oscar Isaac got to shine. He actually knocks it out the park because Oscar Isaac is so cool, right? He's such a
Mhm.
cool dude, right? If you see most of his movies, and then just to see him as this fumbling character is kind of weird, but he's doing it really well. Accent aside,
Yeah, accent aside.
accent aside, he's doing it really well. So I do like his Steven, but I enjoy his Mark a lot more. But no, Khonshu came in and Khonshu stole the show. You know, while I was watching it, right? Okay, I don't know. While I was watching it, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is when he went into the suit. I'm like, is this Mr. Fix It? I know. Is this Fix It? You know who Mr. Fix It is, right?
Right, the Hulk character.
The Hulk,
right?
yeah, the gray, yeah. I was like, is this Mr. I got the whole like the Khonshu, and I got the whole Mr. Fix It vibe. I did like the suit though. I thought it was
The Mr.
really,
Knight
really
suit?
cool. Yes, Mr. Knight. That was really cool.
It's very cool, very well done.
It looked good. It looked. I think that was all practical, with the exception of the eyes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess that was
I
all
think
practical.
the Moon Knight suit itself, I think, is relatively practical, right? Isn't
I
it?
gotta look that up.
Except,
Because when you
except for
do
the
go
obviously
close up,
transformation scene.
yeah, when they do go close up and transformation and maybe action aside, but like close up scenes, it looks practical. Like at the end of episode 1, when he walks towards the camera, that looked tangible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mr. Knight Mr. 19 was 100% was the funniest thing of the show. And it's funny that was the funniest part of the show to me, because we got that warehouse scene or the storage scene, which was another funny scene. But no,
that scene is really, really well done and directed. Like I was kind of stressed watching
it is. Go ahead. I don't. I feel like
so that's the scene, right, where he's not changing and she wants him to, and the thing is banging, trying to get in.
Yeah.
That's just like it creates the tension really well.
It does. It does, because I'm like, okay, come on, dummy. Like I was, come on, and he's not. And then Mark is like, let me in. I'm not gonna let you in. I'm not gonna let you win. And then you see the almost switch part, and I thought, as you said, I think that was a really strong part, and there was a lot of tension. And then he's like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really well done. Moving up into the suit, and he drops. I think the drop and the superhero landing, I think what makes that whole thing hilarious, because he does the cool superhero landing, right? And then the gap, he just
falls.
He falls, and I loved it. But let's go back and talk about Ethan Hawke for a second, right? Yes, because I think, again, he stole the show to me, right? He's the strongest character out of all three. His character, what's his name again?
Harrow.
Yeah, Harrow. His character, giving Steven this whole history of who Khonshu is and what Khonshu does, and how Khonshu stamps out evil when it's too late. And I also like the whole, do you see him? What is he telling you? And then the voice he was doing, was he telling you to kill me? And
I'm the fist of vengeance. And
what is he saying? I'm the fist. Like, no, I loved all of that going through. And I'm like, Ethan is just chewing up these scenes. He's just eating everything up. Like, and the voice he was doing, the control he had of this of the scene, the control he has over the cults, like, it's so great. It's so great to see that happen. And I think one of the best parts was when he goes, do you know what this is, Steven?
Yeah.
Steven obviously goes to Kate. No, it's not. It's it's a little like, and then that whole monologue before he goes into don't let me show you, or I'm gonna have to show you how to do it. But what I did enjoy about the scene was the back and forth with Steven and um Steven and was it a back and forth or just it was just pretty much Mark saying don't do it. Don't give up Layla, don't.
Right.
And which brings me to the scene at when he killed the demon or the jackal, whatever.
Right.
And then that I thought was powerful in itself, where he's like, some things changed. Whoever controls the body is the strongest. This, that, and third, willpower. And I think you said it or Kyle said it, that we're gonna get a twist at some point and Khonshu is gonna be set up to be the villain. I think it was you who said it.
I think I said that might be one of the twists. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I saw that thread. Could be wrong, but that thread was really there.
Yeah, I mean, also with him constantly threatening to, like, I don't know, possess or make Lila his new avatar if he quits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Khonshu definitely comes across as like a dick, like a gigantic
100%. And I think, or the other thing might be when we get to the end of it, it's like, okay, I guess I could, I don't have to be a dick. He's probably gonna find his how do I say this? He's probably gonna find his conscience, whatever. He probably won't, but he might, And so that's the other thing I see, right? But in all honesty, I thought this episode was really strong. Again, tied in from the beginning to the end of the beginning of Mark waking up and realizing, Steven waking up, and then Steven realizing everything was real when he got to the storage facility, found the bag, found the scarab. I thought that was hilarious. He finds out everything is real. I'm not crazy, which was kind of vindication for him because I don't know what someone who goes through like that disorder goes through, but there's some sort of vindication, when it's real and it's not a dream. I'm not crazy, I think so. I like that for him. I felt Steven had a win in that moment, but then and everything else was a loss from
well, except he like does okay as like Mr. Knight, right? Like, so
for like a second, he had one punch.
I mean, it's more punches than than many people could land.
No, seriously, I thought it was so funny when he reaches in his back pocket and pulls out the little sticks, and he goes, "What are these for?" Escarron sticks. That's a Nightwing, but he pulls out the sticks and he goes, "What are these for?" It's kind of cool, and I really loved his acting as Mr. Knight. I'm sorry, I think it was awesome. Yeah. It was great. It'll be. I don't think Mark will ever give us Mr. Knight, which I feel like I would love to see him play a more serious Mr. Knight, in that suit, but I don't think will happen.
I mean, it could, like him being like a sarcastic, more detective-y Moon Knight thing could be where Steven ends up going, right?
True.
So if I mean, it all depends on like what the direction they want to take the overall Moon Knight character, right? Like, are Steven and Mark going to be like co-equals? I think that's kind of where they're.
I think that's what it's looking like.
Looking towards, particularly because they like are playing this like. I mean, it'd be interesting, like what direction they go with Lila, right? Mm-hmm. Like whether she's like with both of them, which is something they were also kind of setting up,
right?
In this, that Mark or Steven was also attracted to her, alongside Mark being married to her.
Yeah.
I think that it would be interesting to see where they go with that. Like, I'm interested to see like what their sort of status quo is, sort of as they move into the finale. Are they like co-equals, or is Mark going to be, the dominant personality that's like the focus of things, like he kind of mostly is in the comics?
Right. Yeah, so that's a possibility. I was going to ask you a question. Do you think it's something when we get to the end of this, if they do become co-equals or they do become co-hosts, do you think that we're going to get a third?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the end of the season, like,
right,
twist, because there's a couple of like small things that, like, Mark's not going to ask that girl out, right, because he's married.
Steven
didn't, right? So I think
I did not think of that. It's wow, that's huge, because Mark is married.
Mm-hmm.
He would not ask that, and Steven doesn't remember doing it.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
We
and
might be
Mark seems
doing-
like to be in love with his wife. So,
right, trying to protect her and everything, even going as far as trying to divorce her.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. One thing I don't think we talked about is this episode, and Layla is a really important character for this, made me
Right.
really interested in the backstory that they've set up for Mark.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, I want to find out like
Understand.
how
Right.
the status quo, right? Like, because there's some period of time where he's operating as Moon Knight without Steven.
Without Steven. Like I would
Steven
like to
being some minimal place in his life.
Right. I would like to know. I would like to know that as well because it's not even some. It seems like a huge stretch, right, of time, and then Steven comes through. The other thing was they kind of laid the thread of why Mark / Steven is the Avatar, right? I was near death. I believe that's what he said. I would have been
He
dead.
said
or
I was
something.
dead, I think is what he said.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
like you were a corpse when I found you. Right?
yes. So they did kind of play with a origin for yeah. So I like that. Is there anything you want to add about Layla?
I just thought that the actress did a really good job. I think
Right.
I think she did a good job of like showing there was a lot of like characterization there without like exposition, which I thought was
Right.
really interesting.
Thank
Right? They do a lot of really subtle things with like her language ability, her already knowing all these things about
Mhm.
Egypt, like without being like she's an Egyptologist with a degree in
Right.
or she goes like I have a degree in Oxford. It's like it's very just like subtle, and her ability to like roll with it, I thought was
Yes.
like really interesting, and I found it's like pretty good for like these kind of shows don't usually handle the like if the love interest isn't central to the plot, which she clearly isn't.
Right.
She wasn't barely in the first episode, and that they don't always do a good job with that. But I felt she was very well characterized, and I was like, oh wow, I like this actress, and she had good chemistry with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
So,
Very much. Yeah.
so I'm like really excited to see where it goes, and I wanted to know their backstory. Like I was like, how much period of time did Mark operate as Moon Knight?
Right. Because she knew, she was like, summon a suit. You have a suit. It it helps you whenever you're in trouble, and you do this. And they have great chemistry where even when he did summon the suit, she goes, "Get it out of here." And it's like that. Like she's so she's very integral to the character. But you're right, she's not again the focal point, but she's very integral to the character, and I love it. How you're right. They didn't necessarily have to say, "Oh, she's." She's an archaeologist and we met X, Y, and Z. No, but we met at some point in my life. We got married, and this is our story now. And this is what you got. This is all you guys need to know. And then just while we're, and I think the best part is as you did say, while we're watching, they're just laying that, very, very little breadcrumbs. It's like, oh, hey, the book, the book of poems, like, that shows you how the reason why Steven will probably have that book is because Mark probably has it to remind I that's what I thought why he would have that
or he would be subtly like because they have the same core personality, right? So,
right.
So he would have bought it because that's like some part of Mark sleeping through. Yeah.
So that was awesome. One more thing I did want to ask.
So what did you think about Moon Knight in action? Like,
oh, I loved it. I actually loved it. It I was watching it like, nah, this is not Batman. Batman can't do this. Well, it depends on the Batman because
depends on the Batman.
Snyder's Batman can do anything. But no, no, it was really cool, and it was great to see him. Like, I think the best part of it was where he had mapped out how he was going to defeat the Jackal, and I liked seeing that in action. He's like just a little bit more, just and then he did what he had to do, and so I thought that was really cool. Again, the biggest thing when I think I did complain about the CGI in the first episode in that one chase scene.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing to complain about here.
Yeah, it was much better, and I think the decision to make that fight invisible, I think it made it both like funnier,
right,
and cooler at the same time, right? Like where the monster has Layla and has
Oh, that was pretty
Steven
cool.
at the same
Yeah.
time was like very cool
Hmm.
and maybe saved on CGI budget too.
Yeah, because that rooftop scene, they needed all the CGI from that episode.
Yeah.
All the money for that rooftop scene. No, but I like the fight in its own self, but I like the rooftop scene was it to me. And I think what makes the rooftop scene, again, it's a little Batman-esque, but what makes the rooftop scene is I think it was just the one shot where he scales the building and the crescent moon is right. I thought that was gorgeous.
From the trailer.
Yeah, 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 but it's better. I think it's better when you see it. You know, because I said when he did it in my head, I was like trailer, but it's better when you see it together. You know, in the flow
Oh
of
yeah.
things, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic, and it looked gorgeous. It looked gorgeous in the trailer, but it looks It looks even more amazing in 4K. So,
Oh yeah. It was also interesting. Like there's like a physicality to like that scene that I really
yes,
like. Like
yes,
where he's like one of the few Marvel heroes. Like when he jumps, he has to do the whole Batman like catch. Right. It's not
yeah,
quite like using the like grappling hook or whatever, but it's like
yeah,
grabs the thing, pulls himself. Like it's very like
yeah,
physical in a
yeah.
way that like
Parkour.
most parkoury in a way that like you don't always get in Marvel.
Yeah, with Captain America would scale the building, right, and
Yeah.
just land, and with superhero landing shield. Even Natasha would do that. Super like I feel Natasha would scale the building. Maybe Hawkeye won't, but
Well,
he would have an arrow to help him do it.
do it. Yeah.
No, you're right. Everything in that scene felt very like the run, and you saw him. Even when he was doing the jump over the one part of the roof, right? He assist. The push off. Everything felt very like the mechanics in that scene felt really great, and I love that rooftop scene. I think outside of the actual fight itself, I think that stands out to me more.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mo.
I was just gonna say my favorite scene in the entire show in this episode today was the end of that fight where he drops the suit and Steven and Mark are going back and forth, and Steven gets really angry because he just wants to complete this one mission, which again Ethan had said is that what he told you. You just have one mission left.
There's always one more.
There's always one more, and so I kind of see Mark's frustration. I want to pay my debts. I'm like, what debt? How long have you had this debt? Like, he even says it. How long have you been doing this? For a very long time. So yeah, I just feel like that also lays the groundwork for maybe what Mark and Steven might do later in the future. As you said, they might be co-equals. So that conversation to me looks like it's gonna lay the groundwork for that.
Absolutely. And I think it'd be interesting to see, like, do you think we go straight to Egypt? Like with like in the present day, or is the next episode going to be like a flashback to like
That's
just, like his storyline, right? Is that like, if I remember correctly, the current Moon Knight is that he was the mercenary.
Yes.
Bushman was going to massacre the archaeologists, and Mark was like, "No, you can't be doing that." So Bushman shoots him and kills the archaeologists, and Khonshu's like,
Khonshu saves him.
Is like, you were mistreated, and
right.
Be my vengeance.
So vengeance. You know what? I think maybe the first 15 minutes might give us flashback. We might, or the entire episode might be flashback going into this. Like as you said, we're gonna get two arcs. We get a flashback episode, and we get a future episode. Leading into the two-time episodes. But yes, I don't see how. We might be wrong. I might be wrong, but I don't see how we don't get some sort of flashback.
Yeah,
everything has been moving forward, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see how we don't get some sort of flashback.
I mean, they have to explain at least a little bit of what like Mark was doing that like led to like the impression is that maybe Steven has existed for like a long time, but Mark has kept it under control.
Right.
And because like Layla didn't know about Steven. Nope. So like that means that, he was at least able to keep it so much on the down low. It didn't disrupt his like married life. So something happens
Yeah, something
That
I need to know what the break was because
yeah,
Stephen was like, Mark was like, something changed. What
yeah,
changed? You know,
yeah,
but they are going with CIA Mark though,
yeah.
even though I mean that is Mark Spector, CIA. So the the passport, the go bag, and all of that. So definitely secret
So do you
agent.
think so? He'll be CIA, not Shield.
No,
They
no,
said
because the
CIA yet?
actually the well, I don't know how IMDb or even Wikipedia how strong those are, but they're saying CIA,
Okay, not Shield. Do you think that
not
this would be
sure.
an opportunity for them to just like
Man, it's right. It's a layup. It's
it's a
just
layup? But
it's
who
a
knows? I mean,
right,
they sometimes do
right,
nice things, like the Shield agents being the one chasing Natasha's family
right,
in
right,
Black
right,
Widow. I liked that
right.
touch.
Right, that was a nice touch. But they could run it back, or IMDb could be wrong. I mean,
I mean,
IMDb has
IMDb
been wrong.
is frequently wrong.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
Mephisto is still in WandaVision according to IMDb. So um,
Oh man, Doctor Strange is coming, and
oh,
we are going to
oof.
get Patrick Stewart in that.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's. I think that movie's gonna blow up the internet.
Oh my God. Whatever happens, I don't think we are ready for what that movie. Like, I don't think anyone is ready for what that movie's gonna do.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So speaking of tie-ins, do you think that part of what this movie is doing is establishing that gods are real, so that you can have the God Butcher come and kill a bunch of gods? Not necessarily Khonshu, but like Egyptian
Yeah.
gods plus. So if the Egyptian gods are real,
Hmm.
then like again they're not like space aliens, which is the
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 Asgard,
Asgardian.
right? Yeah.
So, or maybe they are space aliens. I don't know what they'll explain. But does that mean that the Greek gods are also real? It's been rumored that
Hercules and
Hercules and Zeus, that what's his face, Russell Crowe's playing Zeus. That's the big
yeah,
rumor
from Love and Thunder.
in Love and Thunder. So do you think this is doing some like subtle Love and
Yeah,
Thunder like
letting you
setup?
know, yeah, this is what you can expect. Gods are real. So if the Egyptian gods are real, then I guess DC's in the only one with Greek gods. So
Oh, that's true, right? Because the Shazam villains are Greek gods,
Greek
right?
gods, yes.
So
Um Shazam, two villains are
two,
Greek gods as well.
right?
Yeah. Dang.
So you think
Shazam.
like Amit could like maybe not die, and let's make Amit gets killed by the God Butcher. She gets defeated here and gets killed by the God Butcher.
That
Like,
would be crazy. No,
you know,
seriously, blow up the internet. I
I mean, the gods are gonna die, right? Like
yes.
that's just, like you don't have gore without
No.
some gods have to be fed to the plot machine of Love and Thunder, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I totally see it. I 100% see it. And I hope that's what happens. That would be freaking mind blowing.
yeah,
That would be crazy. I think if Marvel does that successfully, I don't think there's competition for like another 20 years. And that would open up so many more stories for them moving forward.
yeah.
They can have Dwayne come play Hercules again. So final thoughts?
Um, I really enjoyed it. I think that the only thing I didn't like about this episode was that it wasn't directly paired with the one before it.
Right, right.
I
I
think
think
that was a big mistake that Disney made. And if they do lose any momentum from that first episode, it would be because they should have given us two.
right,
Um,
right.
like I maybe their schedule requires them, but they're giving us two Kenobi episodes, as we talked about in our chat. Like it was
Makes
announced.
no sense.
It's like, okay, so why does Kenobi, which is like I would say, what would you say? It's even more anticipated than Mandalorian
Yes, it
3.
is. It
Like
is
it's
because it's what's his face? It's him.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, right? I was gonna say maybe it's because it's Oscar Isaac, but then if you're doing Ewan McGregor and you giving him 2 episodes, shouldn't Oscar Isaac have gotten like?
Yeah, and this is going to bump up right up against. Well, I guess not right up against, right? So this
Yeah,
is 6 weeks.
towards
It's
the
going to be
end,
like it's like a week between the
right?
two, I guess,
Yeah,
between the end. So maybe in 2 weeks, and who knows? Maybe that will
yeah,
cut off on Disney's money or
right.
whatever. I don't.
So yeah, because that way you can't you can't unsubscribe and then come resubscribe or
Maybe but like who is like if you are like last year, I could have definitely seen
yeah
some unsubscriptions coming in, but like
true.
this year,
I think from
like,
this point on, you keep your subscription and you just
yeah,
roll it in
because
everything is going to be back to back to back.
yeah, it's this, then Kenobi, then
and
like Miss
then-
Marvel while Kenobi is on,
Yeah.
and then She-Hulk
Yep.
plus Canderous, maybe that's
All
like
of it.
unclear, and then Mandalorian at some point, and then Guardians and Werewolf by Night.
Yes.
So
yes.
like there's a lot. It's like nonstop.
Nonstop.
And
have you heard any Love and Thunder news? Because
there has
it's
I
like
haven't seen
4 months away, right? 3-4 months away.
I wouldn't be like there's one thing I've heard that there's the rumors I've heard is that Marvel may no longer be doing post credit scenes, and what they'll do instead is they'll put the first full trailer of the next Marvel movie at the end of the last one.
Oh, so we might get. So you have to sit through Doctor Strange to see the
Love and Thunder.
That's interesting.
So that's something I've heard people theorize about why we haven't gotten a trailer. Although we got like a short Doctor Strange trailer before No Way Home, right? If I remember right.
It was at the end of No Way Home.
Well, the trailer was, but I think we got something before that. Like that wasn't like a full trailer, but I think we got like a teaser.
Yeah, we got like a teaser. Yeah, we got a teaser.
Like a 30-second
was that the
thing.
Super Bowl? May have been the Super Bowl.
Maybe it might have been.
I think no, definitely Super Bowl. We got a Super Bowl trailer, and then we got
No Way Home in December, but I thought we got something in like November that was like long, strange, like kind of like voicey. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, we haven't heard anything from Love and Thunder.
Yeah, nothing.
Except like the costume is kind of leaked. That's the thing.
And that was like an accident because I think the news around that was, oh my god, she bulked up. Look at her arms.
I mean, good for her. I guess.
Right, you are going to be playing Thor. So.
Like, who knows with this movie? Like all of the like rumors about this movie, are all over the place.
You know what? It's. I don't care. It's a Marvel movie. It's gonna do gangbusters.
I love Ragnarok.
It's gonna do gangbusters. To be honest, like, are we worried? Like, okay, nothing. We're not hearing. If this was a DC movie, then yes. But it's a Marvel movie, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, No Way Home restored a lot of people's faith.
Yeah. After.
Okay movies, a series of okay. Well, I guess Shang-Chi
was like was the GOAT, and then No Way Home just kind of closed it up for me.
But Eternals of Black Widow were kind of like mid.
Very.
And
I liked Black Widow. I
like Black Widow too. It's not like
I hate that it came out. I wish it came out of when it. I don't know when it.
You mean like when it was like it mattered at all to the Marvel universe?
Well, that and also I wish it came out in the time slot that it was.
In 2018, yeah.
When the movie was made in. It's not even no. Yes, because with all the hype from Endgame, I think the movie would have been looked at differently.
Oh yeah, as a real.
It gave us a lot of time to sit down and think.
I also wish that Disney had it would have like done what what DC did. Like Wonder Woman got a lot. It's a terrible movie. I'm sorry to say that. Like Wonder Woman 84 is terrible.
I don't think it's bad, but okay.
It's pretty bad. I think it's terrible. But it got so much talked about.
Yes.
Because it got dumped in this like content drought.
Yes.
Like for almost like 6 months or something. If like Disney had
for a long it was the only
November 2020.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be one of the most beloved Marvel movies of all time. It's like the pandemic Marvel movie that
it would have saved Marvel from the pandemic. Yeah, Wonder Woman 84 like caught a break because of when it came out. It was Christmas, everyone watched it. Whatever it I know it got a lot of eyes on it. So whatever the hate was or whatever the distaste for the movie was, it didn't matter because
it just rolled off.
Yeah, there was nothing else. There was really nothing else for anyone to watch. So you know what? Whatever. I'll watch one. And now if you go on a plane and it's on there, you're like, did I really like this movie? I have for me saying I like the movie, I haven't seen it again. was the one time. I thought it was okay, and I was okay with it, and I don't hate it, So I probably won't see it again just so I don't mess up the love that I have for it right now. But anyways, I thought episode 2 of Moon Knight was really good. I think it should have been paired together. I like the action in this. Again, it's kind of sad that we didn't see the action pick up, but it kind of works well for what the series is and what they're trying to tell, the story they're trying to tell. I am, however, excited to see Egypt next week, in whatever capacity, if it's a flashback or we're just going to keep going, or we're going to have one of those episodes or one of those things where they're moving forward and going back at the same time. I would hate it, but some type of backstory would be nice.
We're going to get the backstory, right? They spend too much time talking about it in this episode to
they spent a lot of time talking about it,
not giving us at least some, right? And they have announced cast people to play Mark's parents and Bushman, even though he's not the center villain.
Interesting. So then they might be going with that then.
We'll get something at some point. So.
Yeah. So again, thank you very much for making the time tonight.
Of course.
I loved it. I love doing the show. Thank you very much. Catch you on the next one.
Same
subscribe.
Moon time, same Moon channel.
Fantastic. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.